Hello everyone, this is LT Griffey from BTD.monumentmods.com, and today we'll be showing you how to set up the Before the Dawn Alpha X10 mod onto your dedicated game server. Dedicated server is a server that you purchase or rent from a provider that is hosted from a data center. This is not a server that you create in multiplayer mode and play by yourself on your computer. This is a dedicated server. First off, you want to make sure that you have a good download of the BTD mod itself. So you want to go to btdmonumentmods.com, register on the forums, please. And here's the link, if for you people that don't pick up on it very well. You'll click on the download section, and BTD Alpha X, or if you're trying to install BTD 2.2, this is pretty much the same thing. There's three versions of Alpha X: 9, 10, and 10.1. Version 10 has the new gun skins, gun sounds, and lots of other changes to the zombies. Pretty much this is the best version of the mod so far. The 10.1, which is probably the one you want, has the create a class feature that wasn't added into Alpha X10 because hacker forgot to, and this is the X, or the 10.1 includes that. So go ahead and download the whichever version you like, or whichever version you need, and then go to your server's website. No, obviously not Facebook. And log into your server. And with game servers, this is the control panel you get for your server. First off, if you're running multiple servers, make sure that your IP of the server you want to FTP is correct. Now this isn't the server that I want to FTP. This one is. So you click on Info, and you'll see a FTP URL for your server. I'm using Mozilla Firefox as my browser, and there's an FTP plugin called Fire FTP. It can be found in the add-on section for Mozilla Firefox. So you could use any FTP program, FileZilla, Qt FTP, whatever fits your needs. So you'll open your server's FTP, and you will get a screen that looks like this. This side is your server, this side is your computer. Okay, so what you want to do is go into your server's main Call of Duty folder, and you will see a folder called Mods. You'll open this folder, and you'll see the Modern Warfare, which is the normal Call of Duty for multiplayer mode. And then what you'll want to do is create a folder, and you want to call it BTD Alpha X10 whatever. Try not to make it the same as the normal Alpha BT, or the normal Alpha X10 name. Reason behind this is if you join one server that has the same name, and then join another server that has the same name, you'll start getting kicked for impure client punkbuster errors. And this is because if they're named the same, one server has different settings than the other. So what everybody wants to do is create a different name for this folder. So create your new folder to whatever you want it to be. Mine is Alpha X10 HP, obviously for my clan. And what you want to do is go into that folder, and there will be nothing in it. So what you'll do, mine's full of stuff because obviously it's already set up. What you'll want to do is go to on your computer, follow your tree until you find where you downloaded the BTD mod that I just showed you from the website, and you'll find it here. You want to extract it into a folder on your desktop, which I didn't do. Oh wait, yes I did. Okay, and what you'll do is all these the config files. Actually, before you FTP your server, you'll want to set your game up. These config files you see here, the CFGs, you may not have an icon in this because your computer may not know what they are, but it's really easy. You just hit open or open with and notepad, and these are simply the configs for the game. You pretty much set them up how you want. This is the admin config. What you'll do to set up admins on your server, such as yourself or a couple other people that you would use as an admin on your server, is you have to find their GUIDs. And what a GUID is, a specific number that's assigned to your hardware and IP address, so the Punkbuster server knows who you are versus other people. To find your GUID, you simply join a game in Call of Duty 4, a Punkbuster enabled server, and hit the tilde key, which is to the left of the number 1 on the top of your keyboard, and type in /PB _ my GUID, just like that. And when you type that in, nothing will happen, so you'll press shift and tilde, and you'll open your console window, and at the very bottom there will be a 32-digit number, which is this, and you want to write it down on a piece of paper and then put it here, and then put your name here. And what this does is will add you to the admin list in the BTD mod. So you'll hit File, Save, and the next CFG to edit is the game type. This is currently the only one that works. The Onslaught version is still, I guess, under development, so it does not work. So if you set this to 2, it will not work. The set BTD game type is set to 1, obviously, for BTD old style. So if you change that, make sure you hit save and save it. For the rest of the CFGs, this is what you do. In the map rotation, this is something that we don't know, or a lot of people don't know about, is there are a couple of maps that do not work with X10, and what will happen is they will cause your server to crash, and the server won't be available for anyone to join until you restart it. But then once it gets back around the map rotation to these maps, it will crash again. So these maps are Broadcast. What you want to do with these maps is you want to delete them out of the map rotation, which is this CFG here. So all you do is find the map and delete it. Just make sure there's one space between the last map and the next map in the rotation. This map NACT does not work. And the other two, I believe, are City Streets. Yeah, and that's all we need to worry about. The other two, there's the list of maps is on the BTD website. So if you have a little trouble finding it, go there. So what you want to do is save your map rotation. The zombies, zombie.config or BTD zombies. This sets up how you want your zombies to be in the mod itself. The number of markers over the zombies when they spawn, the zombie spawning probability. These two settings are kind of important depending on how hard you want your mod to be. Mine is set to 90-10, 90% test zombies, which are the smaller zombies, and 10% macrons. The macrons are the very, very large zombies that are ridiculously hard to kill, which you can change that also, but we'll get to that just a little later in this config. So you want this probability to always add up to 100. So between the two zombies, 90% test zombies, 10% macrons equals 100% spawn probability. As you go down in the config into your next section, you have witch or test zombies. The witches are kind of cool. They're a new feature for Alpha X10 and or for the Alpha X series. And the test zombie is the classic humpback zombie, which I tend to like. The default set to the witches to show everyone the new mods. So just 1 means enable, 0 means disable. Just do not turn on both zombies at once, as you can see in the header. Usually what happens is you will get a X limit error and your server will crash. These are the health and speed settings for the test zombie, which are the small zombies, either the witch or the test. This sets up their health. Just stay within parameters for their health, speed, range, kill points, things like that. Weird stuff happens when you go outside of these ranges. Simply just edit the number between the quotations. The infection range is pretty much like how far their reach is. This is like an invisible square that you don't see in game, or typically how close the zombie is before they actually damage you. This is the points for the zombie, how many points you get per kill. Don't set this too high or people kinda will level a little too fast on your servers and it gets kinda boring. This is the macron, which is the large zombie. It spawns at the probability that you set at the top, and this is its speed. Do not make this zombie too fast or your game will end very, very quickly. And this is its health range. Now this is extremely, extremely high, so you're going to want to change this. Usually down into the 100,000s is a little better. That would be a 6-digit number, such as 100,000. That's usually right about okay. So then you'll set its damage for when it does touch you or it does damage you. It will damage. It'll take away 10 hit points or 10 units of damage to your player. The kill points for these, you kind of want to keep that up a little bit because you have to work so hard to kill these that you want, a good reward for the kill. We actually have ours set to 4,000, which most people usually have 2,000, but ours are a little harder than most other servers. And the infect, I do not know what this is. I've never turned it on. So if those of you who get a little better at editing your configs, if you turn this on and figure out what it is, leave me a comment and let us know what it is. And the infection damage for the macron zombie. When you're done editing this config, you hit save and close. These are the IWDs for the mod. I haven't actually figured out how to upload these back to the server and have them work, but these are where you can edit guns and things like that. The weapons.iwd and things like that. That would be this one, but yeah. So once you have all your configs set to how you want the game to be, you simply go to your FTP, which was I was showing you a minute ago. I have to refresh mine because I changed those, and you'll have a list of your configs and IWDs. Now, make sure that when you go into your server, you're in COD4, mods, and the name of your mod. You'll go into that folder, and then you will take all of the configs and you'll move them to the server from your desktop. Now, it's a good idea to go ahead and set up all of your configs first, and then add them to the server. One that I didn't share with you just a second ago was config.config or server.config, which is this one. It will be in your download. It's not in mine because I've obviously moved mine a lot. What you're going to do is in this config, before you upload it to your server, you're going to add your server's name, and the little arrows plus numbers, those color the word after it, these are the directions for which one does which. So you'll set your server name, the server admin name, your website, your location. The mod name should already be there, and you should change it to Alpha X10. Down through here, you can enable these if you want your server to have a log file. I don't have a log file set to ours. And your Archon password, which this is not my Archon password, so don't think you have it. What you'll do is you'll set that, and so you can use your Archon commands in-game. Your private slots, if you have any password. Your max clients, this will all need to be changed because this config by default is for a 50 slot server. This is our test server, so this is a 10 slot server. Just make sure you use the same numbers you're assigned by your game provider. Therefore, you don't get any errors. Your private clients, you're going to want to set to whatever you have for private clients. Minimum ping and maximum ping. This is for people that lag really hard. 500 is usually okay in Call of Duty because it is a server-based game and not P2P. This is your server's redirect, and this is for when you install the mod. You may need to add a redirect to the server, which is another place where the client downloads from when people join your server. Redirects are way faster, and this is something I'll go over in another tutorial. But if you're using gameservers.com, they do have a redirect available that you pretty much, they will give you the IP or the link for it to put in your config, and it'll probably look like this. The game servers FTP is not a FTP-able redirect, which means whatever server or files you add to your server will automatically be on the redirect, so therefore you don't have to manually add them. I have no idea what the max rate is. These are just all the settings for your game. If you're going to run custom maps, make sure SV Pure is set to 0. And pretty much just go through and edit things how you want them to be. The Blackhawk hardpoint at 900 kills does not work. That's something they're working on right now, and hopefully we'll have that in the 10.2 patch. And yeah, that's it. So what you do is you will save your config, and then you'll move all of your configs and IWDs to your BTD Alpha X server folder. And once that's done, it usually takes a minute because obviously this is 30 something megs, so it will take a minute to do that. Once it's done, just go to the top of your server's console tree, go back to mods, BTD, and make sure everything is there, and refresh it a couple of times. Just look back and forth, make sure it looks good, and this side should mirror this side. Okay, so once that's done, you'll go back to your game servers page and restart, or not restart your computer or server. You'll go to config, and this is the tricky part. You have to set up the startup command line for your server in order for your server to load, and then load the mod instead of Call of Duty. So with the game servers server, you simply click on config, startup command line editor, and wait for it. Their site's a little slow. And make sure that your command line looks like this. This is the startup command for your server to start the mod, and then when it starts the mod, it makes sure that your server is dedicated set to 2. It sets the IP, the max clients, which I talked to you about in the server config. Make sure this is correct, and then your max clients. Why there's max clients on? Oh, UI. I don't understand that, but your server's port, and then it tells it to execute the config.config file and the map rotate. I'll put this command line in the info box to the right, and if for some reason that your game server does not change the command line on its own, simply add this command line, but edit this to the name of the folder you created on your server. Leave the /, but edit the name to the name of your mod, and then you'll click Save Changes, and the server will restart. This is pretty much the command line to run any mod, just there will be a different mod name from your mods folder, so just make sure that it matches. Now my server has restarted, and now we will check to see if the server is running. And obviously our server is running. So what will happen is once you join your server, it will start to download. Mine's not going to download because I've obviously joined the server before. But the redirect will allow your server to download, or clients to download from your server much faster. And if you don't use a redirect, which is the IP that I showed you, it will download, but it's at a much slower speed. So I guess that is it for this tutorial. If there's any questions, feel free to xfire me, LT Grithy, or Alec N at 1519 on xfire. And this concludes our tutorial, and thank you very much.